Hi, how you doing? And welcome back to another video from Average FPL. Well, we did it right before the last video of the season. We've just managed to cap 10 subscribers, which is, might not be the biggest number to everybody, but it's a nice milestone to get to, considering this is kind of just a hobby and we're sort of seeing how it goes. So I appreciate all the support and everything that I've been getting recently with the views, the likes, the subscribes. So yeah, just thank you for that. And yeah. So we've got the team at the moment from game week 37. We're kind of just in the middle of the game week, and it doesn't look great. I mean, I've got 2 points coming in off the bench from Ramsdale. Obviously, didn't put Pookie in, and he's not going to get in, so I've missed out on 8 points there. And really, we're just looking at Madison contributing, Chelsea still to play, and there's a couple of secondary fixtures there from teams that have double game weeks. So you never know how it's going to go. But to be honest, it's not the highest scoring game week so far. It's given me a game week of about just what 1.6 million. An overall rank, I'm still inside the top million. And probably leaving it a bit too late to make that push for the first number one spot overall. So how do I feel about the season so far? Well, it's obviously you always want to be higher ranked than what you've got at the moment, but it's been up and down, but I've been learning along the way as well, and it's been good to try and link it into video making as well, and just seeing how it's been going there. So, and not the best, but still in with a chance in a few mini leagues, and it should be an exciting last game week to the season. So we've got the fixtures there for Sunday. All kicks off at the same time, and I love this game week because there's so much going on all at once, and there's so many increases and decreases as you go, and you're trying to keep track of all your players, all playing for different teams, and that just makes it that extra bit more exciting. I think because the Premier League is so tight at the moment as well in terms of title, top four, and relegation, then it's really sort of anything can happen. So it should really be quite a special day for the end of the season, and potentially massive returns for your fantasy league team as well. So I'm planning on using this week to free hit. Kind of left it this long, and I was maybe going to use it last week, and as discussed in last week's video, sort of had a few double game weeks in there anyway, and the last game of the season can just be all over the place, like we just said. So I'm going to free hit, and hopefully I will hit one or two of those games that are just going to have massive scorelines because there are always on the last game of the season absolutely huge results in terms of goals scored. And if you can just get those players in, you can hit it lucky on this final game week, you will be laughing all the way to the top of your mini league. So my advice for free hitting is, at this stage, there's nothing left to save it for. You might as well just go for it. I'm going all in on a few teams. Now, the teams you want to target are teams that have something to play for. So you've got Liverpool and Man City. Obviously, you have a bit of rotation risk there as well in terms of the players. And because they're so expensive, do you want to put all your money in that sort of basket there? I'm not sure. I'm staying away from them personally on the whole. I think I've got one from each in my free hit team coming up in a second. But they're interchangeable as well. I'm not dead set on those right now. So looking at other teams moving forward, Arsenal and Spurs, a bit further down the table, both going for fourth place. Arsenal at home to Everton, Spurs away at Norwich. Now, you would like to think that Spurs have got it in the bag, really. I mean, it would just be a massive Spurs thing to happen, is that they bottle it to Norwich away on the last game of the season. And, Norwich somehow finish second bottom when they've been bottom all year, and Arsenal overtake them. But you've also got the flip side of the Arsenal fixture. It depends on how Everton's result goes midweek. Everton might need a result to stay in the league. So if you have to change your thought process as the week goes on. I'm trying to get this video out now just so we've got enough time to talk about it right before the deadline. But if you're thinking of those Arsenal and Spurs players, that will, you know, be valuable, really. I think those players are great ones to get in. Again, Arsenal have slight rotation, but you would think, they have to put out their strongest team. There's nothing left to save it for. Same with Spurs. There's no other games after this, so it all rests on this one. So they are just going to field their strongest team. So you kind of Spurs are a bit more predictable than Arsenal in terms of lineup, but I would be really recommending to go with them. Flash down to the bottom of the table, okay, and you've got teams like Leeds, Burnley, do you want those players in? Um, Potentially. I think it depends on how your money and your budget is fixed up. They're gonna need to score, so there's a chance that there's lots of points there. But really, as well, you have to bear in mind that they could, if they get off to a bad start, the confidence could go, and they could be on the receiving ends for some big scorelines as well. Leeds and Burnley they are playing Brentford and Newcastle, both of whom have nothing to play for other than just extra place up the table, and they do get a bit of prize money with that, but I don't think that really matters for someone like Newcastle right about now. So looking at other teams you could target here, I quite like the look of Chelsea. I think Watford are just done. I think they've been conceding goals for ages now, and that's really why we've been getting some good returns from players that have been facing them. I think Chelsea would be a great shout. I don't know whether you'd want to go heavy in attack because again it depends on rotation, and they've just come off the FA Cup defeat. Depends what they want to do there. But if you're feeling brave, why not? Okay. I think you want to avoid these mid-table teams that don't have anything to play for. That have probably, they're not going to get too high or too low in terms of the league table, and they're already thinking about the summer holidays. I would not, put your money on them, to be honest. So, looking at my free hit team so far, so I am all about going all in. Just said about Chelsea there. They have Watford at home. I am just putting three Chelsea defenders right in there. Thank you very much. I'll take those clean sheets. I think if Watford score, which they no doubt will in the first 5 minutes, then it's obviously a bit of a disaster. But I think it's last game week of the season. If you're ever gonna go for it and just do something a bit out there, then I think the last game week of the season on a free hit is some time to do it. Um, Obviously, I'm having to make up a bit of ground in some mini leagues where I still have a chance of winning them. So I have to make some changes. I think obviously your position in your league affects how much you go for it. Obviously, if you're winning by a bit, you might want to play it a bit safer. That's completely up to you. Also decided to go with Cancelo and Bernardo. I think Bernardo is the sort of player that, Pep, he likes to play him in the big games. I think Pep prefers having Bernardo in there. And he's also got 8 goals and 8 assists this season, which isn't a bad return, to be honest. And I just feel like he's a sort of random player that could rock up on Sunday and get 2 goals and an assist. And you'll be wondering why you went for De Bruyne instead, who led up with 2 points or one because he'll have got booked. Okay. Cancelo as well. I just think he's been performing really well recently, and he's probably overdue for some attacking returns. I think Sunday could be a great opportunity for that. And I've also gone very heavy on Spurs. Now, really, I've targeted teams that are playing Watford and Norwich, but then I struggle to see a reason to not target them. I think Norwich probably aren't going to score against Spurs. Clean sheet for Lloris. And I think Son and Kane are doing really well in attack at the moment, and I think they've got a fantastic chance of returning. And it is the sort of one where you know if Spurs score early, Norwich could really crumble, and they are still quite attacking. Norwich in terms of leaving space. They do tend to score a goal a game, give or take, with having had Pookie for most of the season. But I think if Spurs score early, then they could just rip Norwich apart, and this could be a seven niller, to be honest. Which I know sounds crazy, but you see it on the last day of the season. You just see teams just run riot, um, and they score lots of goals. You saw it with Bristol Rovers in League Two against Scunthorpe. Won 7-0 on the last game of the season, and it does happen a lot more at this time. So yeah, still got Ivan Toney in there. I think he's got Leeds at home. I personally would love Leeds to stay in the league, um, but I just think he's a good price, to be honest. I'm not backing against Leeds, but I think Tony's a good price, and I think he's been unlucky the amount of goals Brentford have scored recently not to have been involved in those. He's been getting the odd assist here and there, and I would like to think that he could finish the season with a couple of goals and Leeds win 3-2. And that would be an ideal situation. So also got Luis Diaz in the midfield and James Maddison. My midfield is probably where I am least sure of right now. I think Luis Diaz, Bernardo, and Maddison are all potentially able to be moved. I think I've got Madison in there now because he just looks like he's hitting a bit of form. He's also got another game before Sunday, so I might just see how it goes. And same with Luis Diaz, who, Liverpool are playing tonight. See how Salah's injury goes. I think if Salah's still injured, then Luis Diaz is an obvious one. I think even if he's not injured, I think there's a chance he could still play, but I might just take him out again just to be sure because what I've done here is I've gone really thin on my bench. As you can see there, Scott Tsimikas there as well. If someone doesn't play, I do think there's a chance that Liverpool are maybe going to rotate a little bit for the Champions League final. But we just have to wait and see. And I think one of the positions they could rotate, it could be left back. Really, I think that there's a reasonable chance there. He's also really cheap, so I kind of had to bring him in order to facilitate getting other players in there. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you're free hitting, any questions you've got, and I'm really interested if anyone's got any ideas for the midfield here where I could go with it. Otherwise, would it be worth getting in, keeping someone like Ramsey and bumping someone else up to a bit more of a premium midfielder? Or are there different midfielders that you think I could get in because there is a rotation risk across there? Any more dead certain players? So yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thank you very much for listening. Again, appreciate all the support. Like and subscribe if you're still listening at this stage. And yeah, good luck this game week. I will see you in the next one.